Hello, welcome to Postcolonial Space. I'm Masood Raja, and as you can see, I finally moved from Texas to Wheeling, West Virginia. I'm currently in Ohio, and that's the reason I haven't posted a lot lately because I was driving cross country, but now I'm here. So today I'll be augmenting my discussion of Abdulrazak Gurnah's novel Paradise. I had posted about a 30-minute video on it, but people have posed some questions, and some of them are for me to maybe add some more explanations or analysis of the novel. So today I'll be talking about the title itself, which is Paradise. Now, paradise, of course, in Arabic is Al-Jannah, right? And the concept of paradise in the Quran and in the Muslim tradition of Jannah is of this place which has 7 different levels. And the highest level of it is called Al-Jannah. And the way paradise is described in the Islamic tradition is as this lush green space with canals of milk and honey. It's the kind of place that anyone who lives in a parched desert land would imagine to be, as paradise. So that's roughly the imaginary of paradise in the Muslim tradition. Now, of course, I have no idea why the novel is named Paradise, but there are certain hints in the novel itself. First of all, the area within which Yusuf travels with Aziz is in what used to be Tanganyika, right, which is now part of Tanzania, and it's part of one of the richest rainforest regions and mountain regions around Mount Kilimanjaro. So in terms of the location and the vegetation and life there, it is kind of like paradise itself. So that's on the larger scale of the setting itself. Then where Aziz lives and where Yusuf works in his shop, around Aziz's house is an elaborately built garden, right, which one of his servants works on, with whom Yusuf also develops a kind of apprenticeship and starts working in the garden. So that garden, a planned garden, is also laid out like a sort of minor paradise, right? And maybe it kind of replicates on this earth the idea of paradise. Then there are discussions about the land and about paradise when Yusuf travels, right, with Hamid, I think, into the hills to trade, and they meet the shopkeeper, Hussein, who tells them about what's going on around them, how the Europeans have now reached that part of the world, and that this world that they know as paradise may not be possible in the future or may not be theirs to keep. So those are other references to paradise. Then there is a critique of the concept of Muslim paradise, and that comes from the Sikh character. Remember, he's scientific, but he's also more eclectic in his ideas about religion and faith, and has more experience, kind of cross-cultural experiences. And he poses this question to Yusuf and others, where he says, well, India is a paradise. The way you imagine paradise, I think of India. It's the most beautiful part of the world. And he kind of questions their faith-based concept of a Muslim paradise. So that's where also the concept of paradise is teased out. To me, the title is also kind of ironic. It's ironic because it's a beautiful place in which brutal things are happening, right? People are doing that to each other, right? Especially Yusuf, right? And his location in this entire world is that of a slave. And that's where the story in a way ends. If this is a paradise, what's his role in it? Will he be free? Will he follow his love? Will he be able to follow his love and break the bondage that he is in with Aziz. So these are some of the references to paradise and what I think about it. So when you, maybe let's say if you want to write a paper on it, or if there is a question about the title, these are some of the themes and thematics that you can talk about. You can also go in greater detail about how certain characters describe the land as paradise, the garden as paradise, and how is the Muslim paradise within the novel imagined and described. So I think these are some of my ideas. They might be useful to you. Anytime when you work with a novel of this significance in such a beautiful setting, it's always important to also tease out whether the author or the authorial voice is earnest or whether there is some irony involved in it. I think that there's a lot of irony in the novel, and the concept of paradise is somewhat used ironically in the title and in the novel, but these are my views. So read more carefully and see if you wanted to make that claim, how would you prove that? So these are some extra thoughts about the novel Paradise by Abdulrazak Gurnah, and my views on how the term, the concept of paradise is mobilized within the novel and what significance it has or can have. I hope this is useful to you. I'll be back with some more ideas and thoughts from beautiful Ohio and West Virginia, where my wife and I will now be living from now on. So thank you so much for your support. Please also watch out for my website, masoodraja.com, where I'll be offering some mentoring, some tutoring, and some life coaching services. I would love to have your support. The link would be in the description. And other than that, if you have any questions, and if I can answer them, please send them my way, and I will now see you next time. Until then, as always, peace and love.